So we are now gridding up. And I can now bring you the grid for this final race of the night. So Mike Stoner, as we said, will be on pole position for this one. Brian Boomsma alongside him in the black and orange car. He's got to be favourite to win this one from the front row of the grid. Stefan Froelich and John Cox, they line up on the second row of the grid. Then Edgevind Anderson and Alex Jonesma on row 3, ahead of Tim Ellis and Richard Molden, Lucas Raskowitz and Kyle Power. That's your top 10. Luca Harrison starts 11th ahead of Danny Henney after his penalty from race 2. Stephen Williams, Chris Foskett, having been a stubborn defensive driver in race 2, starts 15th. Adam Rosales, John Langan, Richard Spanners ready, Alex Van Gien and James Caswell. That is your top 20. So Van Gien's actually been bumped up a place there after the penalties have been doled out from race 2. The grid is set and we're about to get underway for the final race of the night at Suzuka. Round 2 of the Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup comes to a close with this top 20 reverse grid race 3. Mike Stoner versus Brian Boomsma on the front row of the grid. Away we go. Bit of a slow car in the middle of the pack as we see Ellis having to take avoiding action. It's Stefan Froelich who looks like he's got the jump from third place on the grid, but Boomsma retakes second place almost immediately as they head into turn 1. So Mike Stoner from pole position, he's been able to hold on just for now, but Boomsma towards the inside of turn 3, already into the lead of the race. Opportunistic stuff there from Brian Boomsma. Stoner down into second place, then comes Cox. Jonesma up into fourth place already ahead of Kyle Power.
Yeah, and there were 3 wide into turn 1 with Henney on the inside being very, very aggressive, but he's made up into 8th place, so that's a great start from him as well. Very close to clattering into the side of guys, but they did keep clean in the end.
Yeah, and already the boxing up in the middle of the pack has come to a head as Luca Harrison has found himself in an incident down at Degner 2 as the cars were slowing up in the middle of the pack. So John Cox went through into second place there. It was Mike Stoner who was just, I think, holding some people up there as Jones was about to go through into third place as well. So Luca Harrison finds himself tumbling down the order. Danny Henney has had a much better start than he did in race 2. He's in 6th place.
Yeah, those two clattered into each other right in front of him. I just saw Mike Stoner going wide through Spoon there, so that has allowed Drillsman and Power to get right up behind him.
Yeah, so I think Stoner's going to start tumbling down here. Drillsman is going to be on the inside. Power is not going to make it 3 wide, as David Hatton did in race 2. He's just going to tuck back and, Stoner not offering up much space there against Drillsman into 130R. And by the time they get down to the braking zone, Jonesma goes wide, as does Stoner, and he just about gets back on the circuit in front of Danny Henney there, but Jonesma and Power go through, and Henney is about to make the move as well. Harrison just behind them as well, so I think he's recovered from whatever incident he had, and 3 wide into turn 1, very, very brave. Stoner having the cars either side of him there, and Harrison's the one who comes out on top. Actually, he's in 5th place now, ahead of Danny Henney. That wasn't really in the script for Henney. As we see, John Cox from second place has got some sort of problem. He's very slow in the S's. Jonesma and Power have gone straight through, as has Harrison. So he's now in 5th place.
He has, and Harrison made that incredibly aggressive move again on Henney there. He was the one who made it 3 wide, snuck into a gap that was very small, and actually Henney understeered through the first couple of corners, just trying to avoid an incident.
Well, now we've got a battle on for second place, haven't we? So Boomsma has certainly taken advantage of these guys having to come through the field in the early stages. He's already 3 seconds clear of these guys, and we're only halfway around lap 2, so it's Jonesma in second place that we can see in the other sort of gold and black car. Then it's Kyle Power in the bright lime green, the second Venom Works car in this field, ahead of yellow and black Bumblebee Luca Harrison. John Cox in the silver and blue in 5th place. They're about to be overtaken by the other Venom Works car in red, Danny Henney.
Yeah, I think he'll make short work of him. Meanwhile, just in front of them, Harrison getting right tucked under behind Power. He's going to make a lunge into the chicane. Which way is he going to go? To the outside.
Power's having to go defensive, and Harrison trying to go the long way around, and he has made that stick. Fantastic. So the long way around the right-hander gave him the line into the left, And can Power fight back down this straight? They've lost a little bit of time to Jonesma in this squabbling. And Power, he's certainly got a toe down towards turn 1, but I don't think he's in a position to lunge by the time they get down to the braking zone.
And he sensibly didn't try the half move there. I think he's got to try and see if he can stay within his wingtips just here, see if he can make a move towards the end of the lap, Chris.
Yeah, so the front of the field looking a little bit more traditional now, with the top 5 filled with our familiar names. John Cox now down into 6th place. Stephen Williams, the next man in the queue. Then Tim Ellis in 8th. Lucas Raskovitz is 9th. David Hatton completes the top 10 at the moment. Our top guys from race 2 are still running strong. Spanners in 14th. Alex Van Gien in 15th.
They are, and the battle of the balance there is getting very, very close as Spanners nearly rear-end somebody. Van Gien on the inside now. He's not made it stick this time, but these guys are going to have to try and keep it clean, especially as Dobbitsberger is coming up behind them, one of the faster cars.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not had the best start to this race as Dobbitsberger. I think he was starting inside the top 20 if memory serves me correctly. Don't quote me on that. But certainly Spanner's still keeping the elbows out from race 2.
And Van Gien goes off there. He outbroke himself trying to get past in the same move as Spanners passed him there. So he manages somehow to keep it in that position.
That's good stuff from Van Gien as usual. For 7th place, Stephen Williams is about to make a move on John Cox. Sorry, for 6th place, I should say, as Cox is coming under pressure from the man in the Aston Martin colours. Number 17, Stephen Williams, no stranger to the front of the field, and he's about to go through on John Cox around the outside of turn 1. He will go. Got a couple of back markers just slowly out of the pit exit, trying to stay out of the way. But Cox is fighting Williams back down the inside of turn 1 there and hangs on to that 6th place. We've seen time and time again, Cox is a stubborn defender, almost as much as Van Gien, and he hangs on to that place for now, and Tim Ellis waiting in the wings as well.
A bit further up the field, I think we've just seen Henny pass Kyle Power in the middle of the S's somehow. I think we missed that.
Not
position 4.
Not sure how he managed to do that.
No, I think it must have been a mistake from Power.
Could well be. Harrison closing up on Drumsma, meanwhile, for 2nd place as they head down towards the hairpin. Gap at the front of the field has come down, it must be said. It's about 2.3 seconds now. It was touching 3 seconds at one point. We're now on lap 4 of 9. Not sure if that pace is going to be enough for them to close Boomsma down, especially if Drumsma and Harrison start squabbling now.
I was looking back on the replay there. I think Power blended out the throttle and let Henny past. I think he's going to try and do the shake and bake tactic and try and get Henny to pull him through the field with him.
Interesting.
You
can't get a slow down at turn 2, can you?
Well, I'm not sure. But coming back to position 2, we've got Drillsma defending heavily from Harrison, who's gone to the outside of the chicane. He's going to make that pass move work again. Not this time, Chris.
So he went all the way around the outside. Last time it was passing at that chicane. Couldn't make it work this time. Drillsma firmly to the inside, but Harrison now with a great toe down the front straight. And is he going to be able to go around the outside of turn 1 this time? It's Drillsma pinned up on the inside, and Harrison goes sweeping around the outside, but Drillsma fights back down at turn 2, but Harrison will have the line into the S's this time and takes 2nd place away from Alex Drillsma.
Does, and that's crucial for Harrison. He's got to get a move on now because the Venom Works boys are coming up behind with Henny and Power in close tow there. I think he is just trying to stick behind him because he didn't make a 2nd move down the start-finish straight because he was right with him.
Well, despite the squabbling, Harrison was half a second quicker than Boomsma on that last lap. Now with the fighting he's just done at turn 1 and 2, he's lost a bit of that again. But with 4 laps to go, if he can get a move on, he may well be with Boomsma by the time they get to the final lap. But he's got to make sure he doesn't let Boomsma come back at him, which he may well do down the straight after Spoon Corner.
Yeah, he's not managed to break away. He's only a couple of tenths ahead, so I do expect that slipstream to be in full effect. If anything, he was in a position to go into spoon, but quite cleverly he's managed to just line himself up, get a better exit, and actually Harrison goes wide onto the dust there. That's put him under pressure, Chris.
Yeah, that's not what he needed at all, and Johns was in a prime position here to retake second place as they head down towards 130R. Once again, Johns may have this one done before they even get to the left-hander. He does indeed. Does that open up the door for Harrison to come back at him at the chicane, I wonder? It's to the outside once again. He didn't make it work a lap ago, and it's the same again this time around. And we're back in the position we were a lap ago with Harrison back in the slipstream down the front straight. Now, he was able to go around the outside. Johnsma weaving this way and that way, trying to break the toe that Harrison is getting. You're not going to be able to keep Harrison at bay with some tricks like that, and it's a carbon copy. This time, I think Harrison has pulled it off a little bit earlier. Well, Jones was still coming back at him, but once again, into the S's, it's Harrison back in front.
It is, so we're in the same position as last time, but crucially, Henny is starting to catch up and his powers. So every lap that these two keep squabbling, they're just falling into their clutches.
Yeah, 7/10 quicker was Danny Henny on that last lap while those two were squabbling away for second place. The gap that Boomsman's got now up to 3.3 seconds. And so the victory's starting to fade away from these guys. It's all for second place now, as we've got some lap traffic about to get in the way as well. Oh, it's gone off at the hairpin. Don't worry about it. It's an effective method of keeping out of the leader's way. So we've got 4 cars here. Harrison, Jones, Maheny and Power in the battle for second place on lap 6 of 9 of the final race of the night, round 2 of the Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup at Suzuka.
We do, and looking a bit further back, we have Alex Van Gien in car number 4 in position 8, having to defend heavily from spanners. These two have just been nailed together for the whole race, and including the last one as well. So there's a great battle for the panelist honours tonight going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I think Dronsma may be about to retake second place here, all over the back of Harrison's Bumblebee car. It's Harrison who now has to be the defensive car into the chicane. He went a little bit wide there. He's compromised his exit massively. Dronsma goes through into second place. Henny about to follow him through as well. Harrison trying to fight back though with the tighter line through there. Now 3 wide down the straight for second place. Henny on the outside in the bright red car. Harrison tucks back into the slipstream behind Dronsma. Is Henny about to make a 2-for-1 here? He's going round the outside of turn 1. This seems to be the preferred line for these guys, and Jones was once again being pinned up there with the wrong line into turn 3. So close on the way, they're in contact! Henny's off and in the wall. That is a disaster for the championship leader as he was battling away for second place, and now Drelsma and Harrison are still going at it. Harrison retakes second place, but what a disaster for Henny.
Ah, that was terrible, mate. Did he squeeze him, or did Drillsman just drift slightly wide? We might have to refer to Brad Philpott once he's had a look at that. But no, that is, as you said, an absolutely tragedy for his championship challenge here, Chris.
I don't want to say anything too early, but I think a little bit of netcode may have been involved in that, and if so, then that is really, really unfortunate, and not the first time that Henny will have been a victim of that. Of course, him and our steward Brad Philpott fell foul to that in the first ever F3 Cup race we held at Spa-Francorchamps. So perhaps an old foe there coming to bite Henny once again, and this has not been the high-scoring round that we saw at Interlagos for him, with an incident in race 2 as well. So we're down to 3 cars for second place. It's Harrison in the black and yellow car, number 333, leading Alex Jonesma in black and gold. Kyle Power in the bright green in 4th place now, with a nice healthy gap over Stephen Williams in 5th place there. And no looks into the chicane this time, although Harrison did look a little crossed up again. Power looks like the raciest of the 3 at the moment as they exit the final chicane, come across the stripe once again, and it's Power to the outside. He's actually getting the slipstream there from Harrison as well, which may help him a bit. He's got to go the long way around. He thinks better of it.
He's just seen what happened to his teammates, so he's having to treat the back of these guys like a angry donkey. So he's going to have to be very careful in passing, particularly through the S's. I think he'll think better of it this time.
Well, Harrison's got to pull the pin and go now and hope these guys squabble behind him. He's got a great opportunity to distance himself from these 2 cars now in the final 2 laps of this race. So the podium very much not decided as we are heading into the closing stages of the championship action for tonight.
That's right, and Spanners is still glued to the back of Van Gien for now, which is P7 and P8. They also got Dobbetsberger in tow, so this is again some fantastic action going on through the field.
And now I was mentioning Harrison needs to pull the pin and go. He just got himself beached on that exit curb of Digna 2, which compromises your run down towards the hairpin, and so he's not been able to gap Dronsma quite as much as he would have wanted. Dronsma's still going to be in the slipstreaming window, I think, which may well keep Power at bay by the time they get down to the chicane once again, but Power's looking very close once again, and he's going to have the double slipstream here effectively down the back straight. I take back what I said. I think he's very much going to be in a position by the time they get down to the chicane. Power's right with him now. This is the battle for third place as Power goes to the outside, and he will not go the long way round as Harrison has done. Instead, he will focus on the exit of the corner as Dronsma was pinned up on the curb there at the left-hander. And how many times have we seen this so far tonight? The better exit for Power, and Dronsma's right up towards the pit wall to try and defend that place. We can just see Danny Henny leaving the pits after damage from his accident as Power trying to go around the outside of turn 1 and 2. Can he hold it? No, he can't. Dronsma comes back through.
He's not quite got the same confidence around the outside of turn 1 that some of the others we've seen have this evening. So Power yet again pinned behind him. So let's see how many laps we got left, Chris. He's not got long.
This is the final lap now, so quite poetic I thought there. We saw Henny leaving the pits after repairing his car while those two were side by side, and the lap traffic that they're now navigating. Harrison got a little bit caught up behind them as well, so that once again keeps these two in touch with Harrison for second place there. Meanwhile, just 3 seconds up the road, Brian Boomsma absolutely imperious, nobody bothering him at the moment, and is on course for his first victory of the season. First victory in the F3 Cup, I think, actually, which would be quite something. I could have sworn he won one. He's definitely won in the Formula Renault Challenge, but yet to take a win in the F3 Cup, according to my statistics. The final opportunity coming up now, and it's looking fairly spacey between these three cars all of a sudden, and I don't think there'll be any changes by the time they get down to the chicane. So Brian Boomsma up in front of them in the lead of the race, about to come through the chicane for the final time, and is about to take his first victory in the Missed Apex iRacing F3 Cup. And with Danny Henny well down the order, this surely is going to put himself in a great position in the championship tonight. He takes the victory, and it's Luca Harrison who takes second place. Another podium finish for him, and then Alex Dronsma just beats Kyle Power to the podium there. Stephen Williams in 5th place, then Tim Ellis in 6th place. Alex Van Gien, a great drive from where he started on the grid, down in 19th. In 7th place there, Alexander Dobbetsberger in 8th place. Spanners ready, another great result for him in 9th, and Adam Rosales is your top 10.
It's been a good night for Kyle Power, but he was in prime position to see that incident there, which put his teammate out of the race. Kyle, how did you see that pan out?
I don't think it was anyone's fault in particular. It was netcode. I heard Danny come over the radio to say it was netcode, so it was unfortunate. I don't think Alex Dronsma did any wrong there, just the dreaded netcode, but that was a pretty spicy race.
It was, and we saw you getting feisty down into turn 1, but I imagine it was a little bit less feisty considering what you'd just seen happen.
Yeah, I was being quite cautious. Luca had put a couple of very rude moves on me earlier in the race, so I was kind of bubbling a bit and wanted to get back to him, so I was conscious of not slowing Alex down too much because I wanted him to drag us towards Luca, because Alex has got better pace than me. I've been really struggling here. I've got really bad, not really bad, but you know, I've just not got great ultimate pace, so I've come away with 2 fourths and a 10th. I think I'm really, really happy about that.